Welcome, everybody. Good evening, Knicks fans. It's your boy. And you are now tuned in to another episode of OU a Knicks podcast. I love to welcome you guys here. Thank you guys for being here. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today. And if you are new to the channel, I welcome you. And for those who are a part of the Knicks mob, I welcome you also. And if you're a new or returning viewer and would like to support our channel, I humbly ask that you subscribe so you can stay up to date with all our latest videos and Knicks content. Without further ado though, let's get into the Knicks. Shout out to White Falcon. Yes sir, man. I'm glad to be here. I had to cut. If you guys know, I put the live stream for yesterday, but I had to had to handle some other business, so that was one of the reasons why I wasn't able to be here with you guys. But I'm here now, and I'm ready to talk Knicks. I am ready to get it in and talk Knicks with you guys. So I would just like to welcome you again. And as always, I'll be answering your questions and reading your comments, because at the end of the day, your voice matters too. And I feel that you should be heard. And also, I was gonna, plug up the phone line today, but I was having all types of trouble. So trust and believe the phone line will be coming soon, so you guys can be able to call in and let me know your thoughts and how you feel about the Knicks. Now, on the beginning, I want to talk about last night's game. And I gotta admit to you guys that I wasn't really there for all of the game. I did see the game, but I wasn't there for all of the game, because at the end of the day, if you was watching a game like me last night, you saw that the Knicks wasn't really doing nothing. In the first half, the Knicks were just terrible. And I walked away from my TV because I didn't want to bear to see it anymore. Once everything, started, going down and everything, I tuned in. But, I had to get away from the TV because the Knicks looked real horrible in the first half of that game. Randle wasn't hitting his shots. RJ Barrett wasn't hitting his shots. The only one that I could say that was honestly keeping the Knicks in the game the entire time was Evan Fournier. So salute to Evan Fournier, because he did do his thing last night, and he's the first person that I want to talk about, because at the end of the day, we spent a whole lot of time bashing Evan Fournier for the player that he's not and the things that he's not doing to, further along the Knicks. But we got to be able to acknowledge him when he does have a good game. I'm a fair person, and, I feel like he should be, commemorated and given his respect, because at the end of the day, he put in that work. He came in, he was lights out. He showed no fear. He kept us in the game. Without him scoring the way that he was able to score, the Knicks guaranteed most likely would have lost that game. So we have to acknowledge Evan Fournier at the end of the day. Shout out to White Falcon. He said, yeah, Fournier was really feeling himself out of how many games. Yeah, before, and I agree with you, White Falcon. The game before then, he came in, he didn't have any points against, the Pacers. He didn't have any points. And we have to look at that, and we have to acknowledge that too. And I'm not one to sit up here and bite my tongue about players. And trust and believe, I got a lot to say about to Julius Randle as well. But first, I want to, show my love to Evan Fournier. He came in, he did what he was supposed to do. He put the team on his back, and he continued. I mean, throughout the entire game, he continued to rain buckets on the Celtics. And if it wasn't for him, the Knicks guaranteed would have lost that game. So, we definitely got to shout out Evan Fournier, man. And, hopefully that he can continue this type of play. And I like what he said in his press conference. He said that the Knicks need to build continuity together. And you guys that have been watching me, I'm pretty sure you've heard me banter that so many times that, I know you're tired of hearing me say it. The Knicks need to have continuity together. If they got a cohesion between teammates and everybody can play off of each other, and the ball feels like it's on a string between the teammates, then the Knicks could be a dominant team. I have no doubt about that. But the Knicks have struggled with playing with each other this season. You get what I mean? White Falcon says Embiid isn't by himself no anymore. What you talking about, bruh? Shout out to Suzette Lee, man. She up in here. Shout out to Miss Lee. I wish she could have been joining the show, but it's good to have her in the chat nonetheless. So shout out to Miss Lee. She said hello, everyone. Hello to you too. White Falcon said, how you feel about Randall saying shut the F up? I say trade him for PG-13. Trust and believe. I'm definitely going to get to Randall. But I just had to touch on a few other things, and I really wanted to touch on the game before I really delve too much on Julius Randle. Trust and believe, everything I want to say, I'm going to be able to get it out on this podcast to Julius Randle. But I just had to touch base on Evan Fournier and commemorate him for the way that he was playing. He played lights out. He gave it his all. He was tunnel vision with the ball. I mean, he was shooting threes in so many fashions. Step back to the side, straight pull up. Listen, that boy showed out last night. And hopefully Evan Fournier can continue to do that. And if he does continue to do that, and Julius Randle and RJ Barrett and, Kemba Walker, and when Rose get back, if all of them guys can come in and fit seamlessly with the team and what they're doing at that time, I'm pretty sure the Knicks will go from being a mediocre team right now to a high offense and a high caliber team that'll be beating a lot of other teams. So I just wanted to say that. About, Evan Fournier and give him his props. Overall, the game was a real gut wrencher game because, like I said, I walked out, and I won't even front. I walked out. Shout out to White Falcon. Oh, he said, how you feel about Randall saying, oh, my bad. I'm reading your jump off over again. You said, Embiid has 0 points in the game too. Oh, I didn't even see if Embiid isn't by himself anymore. And then you said Embiid has 0 points in the game too. I mean, yeah, it's a few players I'm pretty sure that's dominating the game didn't come in and score. You don't have no points when you out on the injured list. So we can add Kawhi to that list too. White Falcon said both teams are even. I don't know. I feel like Philadelphia got more of an identity than the New York Knicks at this point in time. It feels like Philly know exactly what they're about. So, I mean, and plus they got a better record if I'm not mistaken. So, I feel like right now the Philadelphia 76ers, they have an identity. They have a superstar in Embiid. So, I mean, they're doing pretty good for themselves. I mean, you get what I mean? So, I really can't comment on the 76ers. I rarely watch all of their games. When I do get a chance to watch their games, I will watch their games, but I'm not heavy on them like I am on the Knicks. I watch every Knicks game. Knicks is my life. Knicks is my breath in the morning. So, that's how I feel. Shout out to Suzette Lee. She said, at this point, I feel like Evan pick and choose the games he wants to score and have a good game. I sort of agree. I believe you could get up for a certain team, get up for a certain game, especially a national televised game like they was playing last night, and playing against the Celtics, a team who wouldn't give him a contract, and he chose to come to the Knicks. So I could see him getting up for certain games, but I feel like it's just the continuity with Evan Fournier and fitting well with the team. I feel like Evan Fournier finds himself in difficult positions that limit him from scoring. And then I feel like when his lack of defensive effort takes away from his offensive effort, because he's not gelling with the team, to the best of his ability, and then he's not playing defense to the best of his ability. So I think that's really what hurts Evan Fournier. But I can agree with you to say that players do get up for some games. So White Falcon said no, Boston and Knicks are even. Now Boston and Knicks are even. No, actually, Boston and the Knicks got a better record now. Actually, White Falcon also said, how much should RJ get in an extension? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I hope that he could be able to get the max. I hope that he's able to develop himself enough this season in order to be able to get the max. You get what I mean? So, that's what I really hope for RJ Barrett. I mean, I don't think he's too much worried about an extension at this time. I think RJ Barrett is just trying to, get his game to the level that he really wants to get it at. I feel that he feels secure in his skill to know that he is. I doubt if he get a max. You get what I mean? I doubt if he get a max rookie extension because of, the plays that he done had. But as far as anything else, I do feel like RJ Barrett deserves a good contract. And I really don't think that RJ Barrett is too much even focusing on his contract. I think he's more focused on his game and what he could do to better the team. You get what I mean? And let's talk about RJ too. A shot that will be remembered for as long as he's in the NBA. He now has a poster over Jason Tatum. This is something that he will remember for the rest of his life. Jason Tatum will remember for the rest of his life. And not only that, the Knicks fans and organization as a whole will remember for the rest of our lives. Because this can be a defining moment for RJ Barrett. That shot right there can take RJ Barrett's confidence off the map, and he will be able to pull out a good season like he did last season. Let's get to the comments. White Falcon said, Max RJ out. RJ is the best shooting guard we ever drafted. He deserves PG-13. I would love for them to max RJ Barrett out. I would never lie about that. I feel like RJ Barrett is a future superstar. I don't care who feel any other type of way. I feel like RJ Barrett is a future superstar in the league. And I have high hopes for him. And I can see the dog mentality in him. And then not only that, I can see the Mamba mentality in RJ Barrett. He's hands down my favorite player on the New York Knicks currently at this time. Suzette Lee said this game is about the same as the opening game when he had 30 points in the opening game against Boston. Yes. So I mean, I'm not saying that I don't agree with you. Let's get that straight. I'm not saying that I don't agree with you that he can't get up for games. I just feels like that he doesn't get up for games. I just feels like the reason why he hasn't been as effective as he's supposed to be with the New York Knicks is because he can't find his rhythm throughout the offense. When he coming from Orlando, he had plays made specifically for him that he practiced every day and that he was able to succeed in. So now he's coming at the Knicks. He had to play off of Julius Randle or RJ Barrett and get his scraps whenever they're given to him. He's only averaging around maybe 12 shots per game. Sometimes he don't even go for that. So we have to look at that in a sense too when we're talking about Evan Fournier. He's in a new offense. He's with new players. He's required to do new things. He's not the focal point of the offense like he's used to being. Even though he wasn't that on the Celtics, but look, he wasn't on the Celtics too long. He was only on the Celtics, what, a couple of weeks? So I'm just saying, he's not going to be as efficient as he was in the past because he's with new players. White Falcon said Rose get a bag, RJ get a bag, and PG-13 the bag. Rose needs PG-13 type player like 2011, 2012 Lou Dang. Shout out to Jay Boogie. For sure, man. For sure, man. Shout out to Jay Boogie, man. But I mean, I don't see Rose as being a prime piece in the Knicks' future. I see him being the vet, maybe for a couple of more years, but I don't see Rose really being, because it's not like nobody is expecting for the New York Knicks to be in the championship anytime soon except for me. So, I think that every year. I'm like a Dallas Cowboys fan when it comes to the New York Knicks. But shout out to Suzette Lee. She said RJ highlights had me in wow. I was loving the defense he was putting on Tatum. And not only that, Tatum got off with a lot of push-offs on RJ Barrett. I seen like 3 of them that I can remember right now where Tatum pushed off on RJ Barrett and the refs were just letting it go. I seen the one where Julius Randle also pushed off on Williams and got away with it. So, I mean, it was a tit for tat. And the refs let them play last night. It was a very scrappy, very old school game last night, and that's what I love about the Knicks. I love that about the Knicks because they have scrappy games. Even though they be gut wrenchers, you still come out feeling more amped. It be so live that you can't even go to sleep at night. So I definitely love that about the New York Knicks. So but let's talk about RJ's late finish, and I mean it was spectacular. It was something that I truly love. I think that it should build up his confidence in himself to know that he is capable of making those shots, and don't try to bank it all the time either, because that don't always work. But I love that from RJ Barrett. I was kind of down on RJ Barrett because he didn't have a really good game. I think he was 4 for 15 from the field. He was 3 for 4 from the 3-point line, which is awesome. But I felt like his game, he was getting blocked in the beginning. Like, they blocked his shot so many times. Shout out to D-Roz. Salute to you, brother, man. I hope everything is well with you and your family. I hope everything is well with everybody that's viewing me right now, all across the world, as a matter of fact. You gotta wish well for everybody. So, man, shout out to you, man. But with RJ Barrett, man, he wasn't doing good for the most part of the game. But when it counted, he put that work in. And that's all you can ask for RJ Barrett. He's given us a few good games. Let's not act like he hasn't been putting on a show for the last couple of weeks, averaging over 19 per game. Let's be honest here. So we're not going to, blame him too much, jump on this, back too much for having a bad game. So, shout out to White Falcon. He said RJ is an all-around two-way playmaker at shooting guard. I totally agree. That pass that he shot to Evan for the 3, when he came in, drove to the paint, and knew that he couldn't get the shot, passed it out to Evan wide open, splash. Ugh. I was like, wow, this kid IQ. And then the lob to Mitch to give the Knicks the lead, the 1-point lead. Serious. RJ Barrett, that's why you guys always hear me say, give him the keys. Because RJ Barrett is the truth, man. I promise you. But he finished with 13 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, which is not too much of a bad game. I wish he would have, put more of an effort in, but I seen in the beginning of the game that RJ Barrett and Julius Randle were totally off. And, I'm not going, blame him too much for that because he did come out with the game winner, and that's what counts. Now, because I'm not gonna, hold you guys up too long, I just want to get my little, a couple of words across to somebody by the name of Julius Randle. Now, let me say this. Let me be honest with you guys. D-Rod said when RJ back at the 2 guard, it's a wrap. I hope so. Who knows? He might not even. They might not put him back. I like RJ Barrett at the small forward. I'm not even gonna sit up here in front. I like RJ Barrett as a small forward. But let's get to this because we're not even gonna play with this. I'm not even gonna hold you guys too long. I just gotta say my little piece. And let me first say, Julius Randle, at the end of the day, he had a good game. He didn't shoot as efficient as I would have liked, but he didn't shoot too bad at all either. So I'm not going to even knock him for his game. He finished with 22 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Whip-de-doo. Through the midst of him help the Knicks get back into that game. When it was, when it came to it, and the Knicks were getting back and Julius Randle was doing what he needed to do in the game, we seen a point where he threw the thumbs down to the fans. And mind you, the fans were booing not just him, but the Knicks as a whole in the beginning because you was down by 25. And not only was you down by 25, throughout the first 2 quarters of that game, you gave little effort, you had no continuity, and you had no type of identity on that court against the Celtics. And this wasn't just you, Julius Randle. This was you, RJ Barrett, Alex Burks, Obi Toppin. It wasn't just you. Yeah, I mean, it was a team win. It definitely was a team win. But I got to touch base with Julius Randle to let my thoughts be heard to you, brother. Last year, throughout the entire season, all you ever heard was MVP chants. The entire season, bruh. That's all you got was MVP chants. You won the Most Improved Player of the Year award. Not just because of your play either, but because how the Knicks celebrated you. We celebrated you so much that the world took notice, Julius Randle. And this was coming off of a season that you had that was one of the worst seasons that we ever seen from a player who was supposed to be the star of the franchise. We forgot about your first year. We let it go. We celebrated you for the person that you were, that was standing in front of us at that moment and playing those games. You won your Most Improved Player. You got your All-Star vote. When you got your All-Star vote, who do you think that was? Who accounts for 50% of the votes? Who counts for that, Julius Randle? The fans do. We do. I voted for you. Because I believe that you deserve that title. I recognize that you was the player that was the leader of the New York Knicks and that you were taking on the mantle to take us to the promised land, which is a champion. I said it in multiple videos about you, bro. And sure, I'm not even really too mad about the thumbs down. What really got me was your statement in the press conference when you told the fans to shut the F up. Did you not get your money? Did you not get your awards? Did you not ask for help and the Knicks front office put players in place to help you? Who is the offense ran through, Julius Randle? Because the show ain't R.J. Barrett. It show ain't Evan Fournier. It show ain't Kemba Walker. It show ain't Derrick Rose. The offense is ran through you. The team is ran through you. So when you took on the mantle to be the leader of this team, you had to accept what you got. And stop being so sensitive to people criticizing you when the simple fact of the matter is they're criticizing you for a reason. You haven't been playing well this season. R.J. Barrett hasn't been playing well this season. Evan Fournier hasn't been playing well this season. Kemba Walker hasn't been playing well this season. So what? We supposed to just go on about our business and still congratulate you when we are sitting at the 10th spot in the Eastern Conference? After the team just paid you all of this money? After you came into the press conference saying that it was your responsibility, that you were the leader? Shout out to D Rise. He said, who? Kawhi? Noel? White Falcon said Juju needs Kawhi because this is RJ team. Laugh out loud. It should be RJ Barrett's team. So let me tell you something, Julius Randle, since you talking about shut the F up, you seen what's going on, and apparently that you can't take people booing you. How about this, Julius Randle? How about you request a trade? I feel like this. From the way that I looked at you, I could see that the love affair between you and the Knicks fans was over. So why not request a trade? Why not pack up and leave? You got your money. Your money is signed and sealed. Why not request a trade, Julius Randle? How about this? How about you ball out for the rest of the season? Even if you don't want to leave now. Even if they don't want to trade you right now, how about you ball out for the rest of the season and then force the team to trade you? Because it's apparent that you're not built for New York City. It's apparent that you're not built for the Knicks. You too sensitive. I've never seen a star other than you and LeBron. Y'all is the most, and Chris Paul. Y'all are the most sensitive guys that I've ever seen. I've never seen people like you that's just so sensitive where you can't take constructive criticism. And I'm pretty sure that you look at a lot of these podcasts, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us are saying the same thing about how you ball hog, how you fade RJ Barrett out, how you constantly are predictable to defending teams to where they know exactly what you're going to do, Mr. Randle. So if it's shut the F up to us, how about you request a trade? I can guarantee you, 75% of the Knicks organization the Knicks fans will not bat an eye about you leaving. White Falcon said, game over, Toasty. For sure. Game over. If you feel this way about the Knicks fans, you shouldn't be here. If you feel like you can't take constructive criticism, Julius Randle, you don't need to be here. Because me as a person, as a grown man within myself, I don't want to be, if I don't like a job and I feel like I'm being mistreated at that job and I feel like the love affair between me and that job is over, I need to leave. So how about this, Julius Randle? Since you feel this way about Knicks fans, how about you request a trade right now? I can guarantee you. Shout out to D-Rise. He said, we the fans gonna get him right. No, he need to get himself right, bro. If you feel this way, Julius Randle, please, by all means, leave. I guarantee you. I pray Julius Randle was able to see me saying this right now, because it's the truth. I can guarantee you 75% of the Knicks fans would not bat an eye. The only way that we will feel some type of way is if the trade happened and we didn't get nothing good back for you. But as far as you not being a part of this team, I'm pretty sure 75% of the Knicks fan base will not mind. Especially after what you did last night by telling us to shut the F up when you're the one out there not playing well. When you're the one not giving maximum effort, when you're the one that take defensive plays off, when you're the one who can't get it through his head that other defenses know what you're going to do and that your game has become predictable, you're the one fading RJ Barrett out. I would love to see RJ Barrett run the team so you could just skedaddle up on out of here and I won't care one bit. And that's not taking nothing away from Julius Randle's skill. He's a good player. He's an excellent player. He's very skilled. He's strong in the paint. He can shoot every now and then. He's a streaky shooter, but when he's lights out, he's lights out. And he has charisma and drive when he's on the floor. But you're too sensitive. White Falcon said, time to break it up for a semi-superstar PG-13. Maybe it is. Because how can he come back from this? Let's be honest. How can he look Knicks fans in the face after he said what he said? That is a love affair that's over. When he threw his thumbs down to the Knicks fans, that was saying, no, I don't want you to celebrate me. I'm not doing this for you. I'm only doing this for me. This is the thought that I see when I look at what he did. So since you feel that way and you feel that you're above Knicks fans or our criticism, how about you ask for a trade? Because the love affair is over. Because not only have you alienated a lot of Knicks fans who probably didn't like you in the first place, but now the ones who did like you and ride behind you are going to feel some type of way. Because at the end of the day, we Knicks first before we Julius Randle. We Knicks first before we think about you. So you can skedaddle up on out of here and make sure that Leon Rose and Worldwide West get us a good player for you, and we could go on about our merry way because it's apparent that you don't want to be here. By you coming in there and say and acknowledging who you did it to, and then said shut the F up, and then they asked you, who do you talk about? He was like, who do you mean I'm talking about shut the F up to? You seen what happened. Players get booed all the time, Julius Randle. It's going to be aight, B. So, I mean, come on. D-Rod says, shut up when you put up. Exactly, brother. White Falcon said, we have 8 kids. Randle can't win here. Randle needs Kawhi. Randle needs to look at himself in the mirror and understand that you are not above criticism. No one is. No one is. Who's above criticism? And if the criticism is warranted, then how can you be mad? That's like me, right? Let's say I'm constantly littering in the street. Everywhere that I go, I litter, I litter, I litter, I litter. And then somebody who's noticed me do this for the umpteenth time comes to me and be like, yo, listen, bro, you need to stop littering, bro. Don't you care about the planet? And I get mad. But I get mad about it. And I be like, oh, you can't tell me I can't litter. Come on, bro. That's what you sound like, bro. You sound like a 10-year-old. Getting mad, throwing your thumbs down. To be honest with you, I really didn't care about the thumbs down. I didn't care. What I cared about was when you went in the press conference and you was like, shut the F up. When they was like, what did the thumbs down mean? It means shut the F up. Don't say that to us when you're the one who's down by 25. Think about it, kid. Think about it. You're down by 25. What are we supposed to say? Yay, 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 we're down by 20. No, life don't work like that. Not when you're a fan. You think we supposed to sit up here and accept you playing like crap day after day after day after day, watching our team struggle with no cohesion, watching you lose games that we all thought that you should have won? Come on, dude. You, come on, man. Shout out to White Falcon. He said, we want to see more Obi, laugh out loud, or am I bugging? I mean, I won't sit up here and say that Obi Toppin is more of an offensive player than Julius Randle, but I could live with Obi now after what Julius Randle did. And I'm not necessarily saying that I won't, still support Julius Randle. I'm going to support you. You are a Knick at the end of the day. Until you not in the uniform, you're a Knick, so I'm going to root for you. But I don't want you to feel like you're above criticism because no one is. And you can't sit up there and act like a little baby and sit up there and get mad every time somebody says something to you. You want to sit up there and pout like a little 5-year-old. Kids do that. Kids can't take constructive criticism. Who are you? Come on, man. That's all I'm saying, man. But I'm not going to hold you guys too long. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I want to thank you guys for rocking with me. If you are new to the channel and you like what I'm doing and you want to support, I ask that you like and subscribe. Hit that notification button so you can link in every time that I drop a new video or go live. I appreciate you, and I hope everybody have a good night. Until then, lead by example.